Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and or good night. Today on Confessions of a Spectrum Mom, guys, we are going to be looking at homeschool vocabulary and writing and some things that I have incorporated into our homeschool journey for my older child. She is 10th grade, and we've been homeschooling for a while, but these are some of our older books that we have used to work through those subjects, and I'm holding on to them because I plan to use them for my little one as well. Right? So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Now, first one that I want to share with you, this is the Basic Not Boring, series. Basic Not Boring. They have multiples of these. This is just the study and research one. We also have reading comprehension and writing, but they have a variety of subjects. And I have found for my child who is on the autism spectrum, both of my children are on autism spectrum, that this series, the basics series, have been game changer, because when we first started this homeschool journey, I was like, oh yeah, let me go to this website and that website, and I'm going to purchase all of this curriculum, dropping ducats, and then get all that curriculum in my house and realize that this curriculum is geared towards neurotypical children, and that is not my child. And so I had to quickly backtrack and realize that I cannot use traditional curriculum for my children. I have to find other ways to reach them, to help them to learn whatever the subjects are. And so these are some of the things that I have learned that has helped us. So the basics series, and I did not bring over the basics science as well. So they have been great. So a lot of them will teach middle and high school level subjects, but they teach them at like a fourth grade reading level. So it's a little bit easier. It's a lot easier to comprehend. So this is what the study and research one that we have. And again, we have the reading comprehension and the writing, because those are areas that my daughter struggles with. But I love that. And they're just little activities. Okay. Really simple. Most of the assignments are single page assignments. And so I can assign a page and then we can talk about it, so I don't have to overwhelm her, but she's still getting the help on the skill set that she needs. So that is one. And again, it's the basic series. This one is the Basic Not Boring Study and Research. And they have, let's see if you can see that, guys. Okay. Incentive publications by World Book. That's the publisher. Okay, this is middle grades. Words and vocabulary, grammar and usage, study and research, reading comprehension, writing, spelling, geometry and measurement, problem solving, whole numbers, integers, fractions and decimals, graphing, statistics and probability, pre-algebra, world geography, world history, U.S. government economics and citizenship, map skills, economics, global studies, life science, earth and space science, physical science, human body and health, science concepts and processes, and science investigations. This was $10 per workbook. And that was all of the subjects that they offer. Again, this is middle grade, 6th to 8th grade. And I still use it, even though she's in high school. I still use it because I meet her where she's at. And then we use these as a supplement to the other reading and writing and research work that she is doing. Another one, and this was given to me by my sister because she has homeschooled her youngest 4, and the last one is set to graduate next year. So this was printed through Scholastic. We know Scholastic. Who doesn't love Scholastic? Incredible quotations. Okay. And we have 2 different books. So this is just the one I pulled off the shelf. 230 thought-provoking quotes with prompts to spark students' writing, thinking, and discussion. And so what I would do is I would go through and I would just give her a number, okay? And then she would have to write about whatever that topic was. And this one here, you have it broken down. The quotes are broken down in sections. So here's a section on African American voices, a section on history. This is women past and present. And so there's a variety of subgroups within here that you can use as writing prompts. And I love that. So we did this as as part of our language arts program for maybe about two years or so. So that's been great. Sorry, my throat is so dry, y'all. And I'm at the last of my tea. Wordly Wise. Wordly Wise is so good. So this is the 3000 series 4th edition. Okay. And there's different series. So we're doing the 3000 series. I have it with my youngest. I have it with my daughter. This is where she gets the bulk of her vocabulary. I would say about 80 to 90% of her vocabulary work comes from Wordly Wise. Okay. What I like about Wordly Wise is, especially for my daughter, it is laid out very easily. Okay. For her to be able to follow the concepts. So essentially they'll give you about, I want to say 10 to 12 words in each lesson. They'll give you the word, the definition, the part of speech. They'll use it in a sentence. And then the rest of the lesson is about the child showing their understanding of the words that are in their section. And then after about 4 or 5 lessons, they'll do a review. So this is the review session. So this covers chapters 1 through 4. Okay. Excuse me. Oh my word. And then you move on. And I think there's 20 lessons per Wordly Wise book. And so this is what we've been doing. And with my youngest, he sometimes will get words from my daughter's book as well. I don't give him the whole 12, but I'll pull out like maybe 2 or 3 words that I think he should know, or that would be a benefit, like things that we would use in everyday language. Supreme, integrate, triumph, verdict, violate, detain. Those are words that are here. Arrogant. He's old enough to know what those words are. Ceremony. Okay. Boycott, campaign. Those are words that are commonly used in the American language. Now, sometimes they give words that I'm like, okay, would be nice that they know those words, but like in my 48 years, when have I ever used, like some of these words? And so I don't stress about those words. But the words that we do use, in everyday language here, yeah, you need to know. You need to know. So that's what we use. Here's the back of the book so you can see. Okay. And it pretty much goes from kindergarten to 12th grade. So that is kind of what we do. And it's not the only way that I incorporate, writing. We also do it's just a little made up game I call Spell Block 6. So we have Scrabble pieces, and we have now added bananagram pieces. And so we'll mix all the tiles, flip them over, mix all the tiles, and then we separate them evenly. And I give the children like a set amount of time, and they flip their tiles over, and they have to spell as many words that they can and get the most amount of points that they can. Sometimes I'll give them a goal like, hey, I want you to reach 300 points, or maybe to my son, I want him to reach 150 points, what have you. And then they have to come up with the words. Like, they have to use their knowledge to come up with words. And there are certain words that we do. They can use names of people in our family. They can use country names. They can use major cities. So you can use New York, you can use Atlanta, you can use Paris. It might not score a lot of points, but you can use them. But you can't be like, oh gosh, like some random far off city that nobody has like heard of except the people that live there, you know. So we do that. And then what happens is I'll take their words that they have come up with, and I might pull 5 to 10 of them, and I'll add that to their vocabulary as well. And so you have to give me definitions. You have to use it in a sentence. You have to show that you understand that word. And then sometimes I'll be like, okay, well, here are your words that came from our Spell Block 6 game. Now I want you to write a narrative story based around these words. You need to underline, you know, and it needs to make sense. Like, your story needs to be coherent in the use of these particular vocabulary words. And so we do a lot of that, guys. So between the Wordly Wise and these other workbooks and the Spell Block 6 game, that's how we do a tremendous bulk of our writing and vocabulary work. And I do want to share some of my daughter's sentences, because she had me rolling. So this word was implicated. My mom and 4 other people were implicated in a car accident last year, and it was very bad. I don't appreciate that. The trauma was the word. The trauma mom received from her fall on her left side was too much for her to bear. And I did. I've had multiple falls. And so this side gets, you know, inflamed really bad. But sometimes her sentences, there was another one that was just, she was wilding. I did just see it. Oh, anyways. So she comes up with some sentences. Some of her sentences, I can tell she does not fully understand the word. But some of them she does understand. She just might not use the word in a way that we would use it in normal conversation. And that's something that she has to learn. Resilient. Out of all the people in our family, I think my mom is the most resilient one of all. Thanks, babe. I appreciate that. Okay, eternal. When I read my Bible in my room, I think of God and his eternal love for us. You go, babe. So, yay. She does. She has some good sentences. She has some sentences that I'd be like, did you really read this? Did you really understand this? And so we do have to go back sometimes, guys. We got to go back. But let's see. So this is, you can see that. First of all, she has pretty good handwriting. When she's focused, her handwriting is really nice. We worked long and hard on that. So she'll give the definition, the part of speech, and then, you know, a sentence that's supposed to show that she knows and she understands the word. So we do a lot of that. Now, we have finished our language arts for the year, but a lot of our writing comes from resources like this. And you don't have to, if you can't afford a Wordly Wise book, you don't have to get it. You can go online to that G website that you can search things on, and you can search ninth grade vocabulary list, second grade vocabulary list. And you can print it out. If you have a printer, copy down the words that you want your child to learn. If you don't have a printer, and then use that as the basis for learning vocabulary. Let's see where they should be. Okay. And if they, maybe your child is second grade, but their vocabulary level is at fifth grade. So find them a range of second, third, fourth, and fifth grade. Make sure they have a firm foundation, and then you can build your vocabulary and your language arts curriculum from that. Like, you don't have to invest like we did. We dropped hundreds of ducats year one, only to be using secondhand stuff year 2, 3, 4 and forward. Like, some of them are newer, but a lot of our homeschool resources are have been gifted to us from my sister. Like, her kids are older, so she has just passed down. And so but build your curriculum based off of, one, where you're at financially, and two, where your children are at. And I have just found that pre-made curriculum, at least in our family, was not the best choice for my autistic children, because they don't process information the way that they are being expected to process. So I've had to get creative in how I teach certain subjects. We've used some websites. Like, my son loved Khan Academy Kids. He's outgrown that now, but that's been a great website. We used IntelliJoy, which is an app that you can get from the Google Play Store. If you get the suite, the full suite, I think it's like IntelliJoy Academy or something like that. It was only, when we had it, like $12 a year. But within that suite, you got about 20 to 30 apps within that one suite. So if you have younger kids, like, to me, I just ended my subscription to IntelliJoy maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. But we had it for about 10 years or so. And it was just, it's phonics, it's letter recognition, it's writing, like finger tracing letters. So if you have that pre-K child, like, IntelliJoy was really good with them, and it wasn't overstimulating like some other apps can be. And so I thought that was a great investment. We are using Prodigy English right now with my son. And so, like, even though he's performing above grade level, now the thing with Prodigy English, it only goes up to 6th grade, and so there's some things about Prodigy English that I'm not super crazy about, but my son does love it, and it has a gaming aspect to it, which he likes even more. But that is another thing that you can incorporate into your language arts studies. And then just reading, guys, just reading, heading to the library and pulling books. Read this. And then I would have the children do book reports. We'd have a theme. We had a theme last year where we did notable U.S. women. Okay. And so I tried not to discriminate. Like, I am discerning, but I try not to discriminate, based on political views or excuse me, other ideologies. So, like, we're looking at Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Justice Sotomayor, we're looking at Michelle Obama, we're looking at Abigail Adams, we're looking at Martha Washington, we're looking at everybody, I don't like to view history like this. So we're looking at everybody. historically that we can learn about. Read and then tell me about them. Read and then tell me about them. And so we did a lot of that as well. And the same thing with my son. I find books for him that I think he's gonna like. Oh, he likes what's the Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. Like, so he likes that. He likes Spider-Man. So like found a book on Stan Lee, like read and write about it. Read and write about it. So that is like a lot of the things that we've been doing with our language arts. And that doesn't require spending a tremendous amount of money on workbooks that might not ever get used. So you gotta do what's best for your family. But that's it, guys. Oh, please don't fall. Please don't fall. Here's another one that I have. Come on. So it's gonna cost you some money. So this is about $8 US. They have a whole list of different books. This is good for younger kids. And so we have ones on words, we have sentences. We're doing the cursive one right now with my son. He wanted to learn cursive, so I'm like, all right, bet, let's go. So, and he's actually doing pretty good with the cursive book. So what we do with the cursive book is we'll do maybe 3 to 4 lessons, and then we'll spend the rest of the week practicing the letters, that he learned in the previous group of lessons. And we'll just practice, and we'll just do little words. So we'll do worksheets. I have a small whiteboard, and we'll just sit on the sofa or sit on the bed, and I'll give him, letters to practice. Short little 3 to 4 letter words to practice writing in cursive. And while he don't like schoolwork, he has been enjoying learning cursive. So that's what we got, guys. So much, but I think you can find something that will work for your child, for your language arts. Libraries are free for now. Libraries are free, guys. Use bookstores, like book cafes. Maybe there's a place that you can go, you can read something on the shelf and then just put it back, things like that. Other people in the homeschool community that might be finished with their workbooks, that if you don't mind secondhand, they can pass it on to you. That's how we got almost everything on my bookcase has been given to me, because my sister used it with her kids, and then she passed it on to us, and so those are things that you can do. That G website, GOOGLE, you can research stuff, find things, print out. If you don't have a printer, you can handwrite. My first 3 years, we did not have a printer. So I was handwriting every single lesson for my children. We just got a printer, I think earlier this year, at the end of last year. Handwriting everything. So you don't necessarily have to drop big ducats, but you can get it done. So that's what I got to say. Y'all know the drill. We'll see you in the next video. Okay? Bye.